Well, you heard Rob Kelly say in the previous segment that when it looks at all these industries that are short, when they look at them, the one reason that they're worried that production isn't going to get ramped up to where it needs to be is because of labor. It's because of workers out there. Well, Phil Davis is Workforce Services Director with North Dakota Job Service, and they're working on it. They're doing what they can on it. In fact, let's bring Phil in, get a chance to visit with him about it. Phil, good to have you coming down the road with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, Joel. Thank you so much.
You've got a big job fair coming up. I want you to tell people about that.
We do. So as you just hit on, we have a labor shortage here in the great state of North Dakota. And currently on our website, jobsnd.com, we have right at about 20,000 open and available positions. And like I've said before on your show and other shows, I think we can probably take that number and times it by 2 or 3. A lot of times the employers just list one opening with us, but they have 2 or 3 different openings. So what we're doing here is something different for us. We're having a multi-industry job fair statewide using a virtual platform called Talent Space. We partnered with them last year. And currently we have 140 employers from across the state registered with us, and we're continuing to take more employers basically right up until the event, which is this Thursday, May 19th from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock Central Time. And we've partnered with our good friends from Commerce, the Tourism Department, Parks and Recs, North Dakota Parks and Rec, and then Game and Fish Department also. They're going to be kind of our featured employers per se. And so it's anybody that's from out of state, and I'll get to that in a second, but you can go into and visit the state of North Dakota. It's more, this event is more than just about jobs. It's learning a little bit about North Dakota as well. But what we've done is we've really open this event up to what we call kind of our preferred employers, those employers that we work with on a daily basis that are in the high wage, high demand industries like healthcare, information technology, government, transportation, oil and gas, and manufacturing. So we started inviting those featured employers. And like I said, we're at about 140 right now, and we're going to be leaving that open. Any employer out there that hasn't been contacted and they want to be part of this, please get a hold of somebody from your local workforce center, ask for the manager or the business service advisor, and they will help you get registered for this event. So we know we have a shortage of workers here in the state of North Dakota. So we thought, well, let's go to our data analytics and let's see what that tells us about. People are looking on our website, again, jobsnd.com, and where are they coming from? So we kind of zoomed in on, and believe it or not, it was the state of California, Los Angeles in particular, Denver, Colorado, St. Paul, Minnesota, and to include Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Chicago, Illinois, and then there were a couple other smaller cities that we concentrated our promotion of this event on. And so what we're doing is just basically using social media. And so far, we've got a nice mixture of about 160 job seekers registered for this event. Now, you don't have to register as a job seeker. You don't have to register. So we're not really concerned about that number right now. Obviously, we want a big number for all of the employers who are going to be taking part on this. But again, the job seeker, they can register right before they go into the event at 11 o'clock. So they just throw in your little bit about yourself, your name, and you have to have a current email address to get into the job fair. So right now we have 14 states and 4 countries represented that are registered just with those small numbers so far. So I'm expecting that number to be well over 300. I'll be a happy man with that.
300 does. I mean, that was one of the questions I had. 140 to me is a pretty strong number going in, and you're a ways away from the fair itself. So,
right.
300 is a win. That's what you're looking at?
Yeah, I would be happy with 300. If we get 1,000 people to attend this kind of first time event, I would be ecstatic. Now we kind of had something similar last right around the Christmas timeframe, we had a veteran job fair, and we had about 80 employers there, and we had 110 veterans, and we just promoted that in state. So I think with our promotion that we're doing out of state, I think we're going to be well over that 300, and it's just a great way to, hey, tell the story about North Dakota. We have a shortage here, just like a lot of the other states. You look to South Dakota, you look to Montana, Wyoming, and east to Minnesota, they have a labor shortage too. But we just can't sit and do nothing. We gotta do something. We have employers out there that are hurting, and it's hurting our economy. So we thought, just kind of out of the box thinking. I said to our staff, let's try something new, and we got together and kind of put our minds together and came up with this. So we are excited about it.
So Phil, you talk about the fact that we're short 20,000 ticket times 3. I think you're very realistic about that. And in speaking to a lot of the folks I'm talking to, I mean, I'm in the advertising business, whether it be through the radio or the TV. The one thing that you consistently see is people needing help. They need workers, and they need workers who will stay once they get them. Are a lot of these positions low-level positions, or are a lot of the positions that might come up in a job fair like this to people who have achieved a point in their life where, they're not going to settle for $20 or $25 an hour?
And great question, and I'm glad you got to that. What we did with this, like I said before, we just concentrate on really the high wage, high demand. Now, we understand as an agency, there is a huge need in the hospitality industry, the food service industry, that sort of thing. But with our low unemployment, and we're looking at really only about 1,500 people that are certifying each week who are not going back to their employer, certifying their unemployment claim, we need to spread our wings a little bit here and look, past our boundaries. And that's what we did with this job fair. So we kind of set it up with the employers who have those higher wage, higher demand positions where somebody from Chicago, Illinois, or Minneapolis are going to move back to the state or move to the state. We're probably not going to see somebody move, and nothing against the hospitality or anything like that, because we know they have a need, but it's got to be that higher rate of pay for somebody to move to North Dakota. And we're hoping we're going to do that through this job fair. Now, in saying that, some of these employers might have the lower paying jobs, and that's okay. But we do know that they have open positions that are, that 55 plus salary a year, that where their openings are indicating that.
Well, and for those individuals who might have a little bit lower income, unless you ask, you're not going to get.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't make you any different than what you were the day before. So I certainly understand that. Let me ask you this, Phil, because what you are is a conduit between a workforce and the people hiring, and I understand that. When you talk to the people out there looking for workers, have some of them just kind of given up what they could grow their company into? I'm not talking about just sitting there and meeting the needs or the demand they have now, but there are many of these companies that they'd like to build more Bobcats. I mean, they'd like to, there's a need out there. There's a need for more Polaris Rangers. I realize they crossed the river there, but have they given up on what we can even produce and just said, look, this is all we can do?
I think you're definitely seeing that. I personally talked to a company last week, and it's not so much given up. It's more of a realization. Okay, we can only fill this many orders, and those orders are taking us through, let's say, June or July. And we can't really add on to more of that. We can't add to that second shift. If we had more bodies, we could add to that second shift and we could produce more of that product. But again, the labor force just isn't there. And that's what we're trying to do here with this job fair, to attract more of those individuals. Hopefully that'll move to the state. But you are exactly right. I think there are a lot of companies out there that kind of just put the brakes on things. Okay, let's just work on one order at a time and, see what's coming in the future.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. One more time, if people want to take part in this job fair, tell them what to do.
Yeah, just come to our website, jobsnd.com, if you're a job seeker, that is, and you can register through there. There's a carousel that'll constantly spin with some updates on what's going on in our agency and that sort of thing. And it's one of those where you just go in and register, give your name and give your active email address, and then you can join the event that way. Or you can simply wait till the day of the event and then click on that carousel, and that'll take you to the event. And it is free for everybody, free for any employer out there that still wants to get in touch with us. Please do so. No charge for the employer or the job seeker. So we want as many people involved with this as we can to help out with this shortage.
May 19th, 11 to 2.
That's correct, sir. You bet.
Phil, keep fighting the good fight.
All right. Thanks, Joel, and appreciate the time.
I
Thank
remember
you.
when we used to try to create a place in North Dakota that was hiring. I guess that was successful. That horse is out of the barns.